Kiesha.
And I'm Kiesha.
And welcome to the premiere episode of Cooking with the Kieshas.
Season 1, Episode 1, people.
For this semi-homemade dish, you'll get a bag of shrimp that's already cooked, some lemon juice, or you can have a fresh squeezed lemon if you prefer, but if you're going to use the lemon, you're probably going to want the zest more than the actual juice. Olive oil, some Old Bay, garlic cloves, and fettuccine pasta. Or actually any pasta you want. This goes great with angel hair and spaghetti if you're feeling just a little bit ratchet. Also, we used 1.5 boxes of the pasta because we feed normal sized families, and in our book, 4 servings is for 2 people. So do with that what you will. We're fat.
So first I put some salt in boiling water, and then I put pasta in the water. I also added cooking oil to the water so it can stop the pasta from sticking to itself. So you come this to a boil and cook it until it's al dente, which means just a little bit undercooked, so you can have that bite to it. So you stir it until you feel like it's cooked enough for you, and then you turn it off the heat. What you want to do also for later is save at least a ladle full of the starch water so it can thicken your sauce when you put the shrimp in.
So to thaw out the shrimp just a little bit faster, you want to use a strainer and put the total of the shrimp that you want in the strainer. It doesn't have to be as pretty as this red one right here, but you can work with whatever you have. You're going to run cold water over it if you have a filter. You also don't have to be as fancy as we are with your filter, but you can just run cold water over it, and that will actually get the shrimp to thaw out much faster than traditional methods, which would be taking it out of the freezer.
Also, if you want, you can take the tails off the shrimp, which we will do later, but you don't have to. We have children, and I would rather take the tails off so they won't eat that. So
that's always nice. So while the pasta's boiling, you want to take your 3 fresh garlic cloves and take the ends of your knife and lay it down across the garlic clove, and you're going to smash it just like this. Hi-ya!
Why, Kiesha? Why are you doing that?
You say hi-ya because it puts a little bit of your spirit into the food, and it lets everyone who eats your dish know that you made it with love.
Besides that, why are you smashing the garlic cloves, Kiesha?
You open the garlic cloves and you smash it like that to release the aroma of the garlic, and it really gets that full-bodied flavor into your food, and it releases it into the air. You get some of that old Sicily, that prego, Alfredo, grazie. It's very Olive Garden. It's very classy. That's what it does. So now, as you can see, I'm kind of just mincing the garlic like so. And if you'll notice from the last frame, I've upgraded to a bigger knife because I am about that life. And this, dear knife, is from the Calcutta Bitch collection.
Show them the knife, Kiesha.
As you can see, it's got a very sharp edge, really sleek, nice and discreet.
This is for when mofos act up.
And sometimes people need to be cut.
Just gotta cut it off.
The minced garlic should be about this size. Really, think tiny chunks. Tiny, classy, pinky in the air. Keep it classy like an Olive Garden chunks. You don't want to bite into garlic. Smaller is better when it comes to mincing.
Only in this situation.
Only in this situation. Portions are a different topic entirely. And you're just gonna keep mincing. You mince. Up. They've gotten away. Scoop to the middle, scoop to the middle. Mince. Don't run away from me. Mince.
And also pay attention to the mincing, because with garlic, if you mince too much, you can almost turn it into paste. So make sure that you're actually mincing and not pasting your garlic.
You don't want to really grind it. It's a very delicate, soft hands. Requires a lot of restraint.
So you're going to set your garlic aside, and now you want to make sure that you have a really hot pan, because you're going to saute your shrimp now in the olive oil. So I have detailed the shrimp, and now I'm about to sprinkle a little Old Bay in it before I put it in the pan. You actually don't need a lot of Old Bay because it's a really strong seafood seasoning, and you can use it on crab, lobster, you can even use it on chicken. But I definitely like it for shrimp. So now you want to make sure that your pan is hot. Doesn't have to be smoking hot, but it does have to be hot. Then you want to kind of step back and just put the shrimp in there. So being that the shrimp is already cooked, you just want it to turn a brighter color pink before you take it out. So you just kind of give it a minute and let it saute.
But Kiesha, how much olive oil did you put in the pan?
About 2 tablespoons of oil. We're going to use a little more later to make the sauce to go over the pasta. But just to saute, you don't need a lot of oil. So this is what you want your shrimp to look like. It takes maybe about 5-6 minutes to get it this color. But after it's done, you just want to take it out. Actually, let's see. We're going to use a spoon so you can keep all the oil in there. You just want the shrimp out. And you're going to put it in your bowl.
It's very important to preserve as much of that shrimp, buttered, oil flavor juice as you can, because that's really what's going to become an integral part of the sauce for your pasta.
So now what you want to do is put the minced garlic in there and make it soft. Because like Kiesha said, you do not want to bite into garlic. It's not a really good taste when you bite into a whole lot of garlic.
But also, if you live in a food desert and it's very hard for you to get fresh garlic cloves, we used about 3 garlic cloves, but you don't have to use as much if you don't want to. It's always about kind of doing what is good for you and your family, whoever you're cooking for, and also making sure that you can use minced garlic if you're on a budget or, you know, you don't live near a farmer's market.
So as you can see, I added a little more oil, and you can if you feel like the oil you would usually use has run a little dry. So once you start smelling the garlic, it smells really good. Once you start smelling it, just give it a couple of more minutes and let it mince a little bit. You want to keep everything that you see in my pan because that is all the flavor from the shrimp. So now that you got your garlic minced and sauteed, you want to add your butter and your lemon juice. Now the lemon juice is just for zest. It gives it a little more kick and bite to the pasta dish.
Yeah, you're not actually going to use a whole lot of that. Think when you're using it how the amount of juice you would get if you actually just had a lemon half and squeezed it over it. Now again, we had fresh garlic cloves, but we have lemon juice. If you have minced garlic in like a pre-cut package, or that dried garlic that's like in your seasonings, then it would be great to use an actual lemon. And it's just all about trying to have as many flavors, as many fresh flavors as you can. Now, as Kiesha's added the butter to the saute pan, this is where we would normally make a Paula Deen joke. But in light of recent events, that will not be happening.
So I added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. It seemed like a lot, but the pasta will soak all of this up, so you don't really have to worry about that. And also a good thing about the butter, not only does it add flavor, but it gets all the little bits and pieces from that is stuck to the pan.
Yeah.
So what you do is add about 2 capfuls of the lemon juice. You can also do zest if you want to. You don't have to. And that starch water that you saved, you also throw that in there now. So you put your shrimp back in.
I know you guys can't tell out in internet view, but it smells amazing.
You spoon the pasta into your mixture. You do not do it the other way around, simply because you may have made a lot of pasta and you can save some for later. So I like to just spoon it in there. So this recipe is also good for when you're having like a date night, or you have a guest over,
or you want to eat your feelings,
or that. Definitely that.
Or you're not feeling any kind of way and you just want to have a meat party.
Meat parties are really fun.
I love meat parties.
My favorite food for a meat party though is Oreo cookies. The golden ones. I know you don't like them, but
I think they're an abomination.
They are my favorite things.
Okay, well,
it's about 2 or 3 minutes and you will get this. So now for the fancy part of the meal. You can either add oregano leaves or ground oregano. I prefer oregano leaves because you can see it and it makes it look a lot more fancy. There's actually no difference in taste. The leaves is just a little bit more fresher.
Yeah.
A little bit more fresher than the actual ground. If you want to make it Italiano, you can add oregano, parsley, whatever you have on hand. Anything green you add to a dish makes it prettier.
And that makes it an Italian treat. So after you plate it, you just sprinkle a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese onto the top, and voila, there you go.
Thank you for joining us for the first episode of Cooking with the Kieshas, and we'll see you next time.